Hello and welcome to episode number 40, yes, 40 of Tuesdays at 2. I'm broadcasting live from about a location, my house in Horseshoe Valley, which is about 90 minutes above Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I'm a global guy. I am an executive career management practitioner. I manage the careers of senior executives and those who aspire to be business leaders, executive master of business administration, and mining professionals. So I manage people's careers. I help them get their dream goals and career dreams. Yes, you can get it even in today's economy when times are tough, but you have to have good career management. So my name is Martin Buckland, and I'm going to teach you today on something that's very, very important. Personal branding. Have you heard about personal branding? Sadly, many people haven't. You know the big global brands. You probably immersed in some of them. You may probably work for many of the big brands in your own domestic country or globally, like IBM. So you need to have your own personal brand. So I'm going to teach you today how to craft a personal brand. What is a personal brand? Now, that's a never-ending question because I, as an executive career management practitioner, am fascinated by personal branding. I just happen to be fascinated by branding generally. You, everyone watching today, watching live and watching the replay, has a personal brand. So what is a personal brand? It's your unique promise of value. What is so special about you that would make me, if I was in a hiring position, choose you over Mary, Mark, or Paul? You need to think about your value add. It's your value add. It's your competitive edge. It's your differentiator. Everybody on this planet is different. You need to distinguish yourself because that's the way we advance in our life and our career. Every one of you is special. You need to think of yourself as special. You are a product and you're sending that product to the market. You should always be aware of your personal brand. Who exactly are you? Give me a compelling statement why I should call you over Mary, Mark, or Paul, or any other person. You have a brand. I know people they're very concentrated. They cannot understand this concept that they are a product and they are a brand. And once you launch yourself into a job search or your career, because remember, your career is long, 40 plus years, and you need to manage your career for those 40 plus years through good times and through bad times. So basically, a personal brand is your sales proposition. You are always selling yourself. Now, that is difficult for some people, especially for introverts. And you know what? It's also just as difficult for salespeople. Salespeople to sell themselves. They can sell anything. They can sell cars. They can sell houses. They can sell widgets. But very rarely, very rarely can they sell themselves. So it's your sales proposition. Focus in, narrow down exactly who you are. What is your niche? What is your unique promise of value? But always be genuine and be real. Don't embellish. Don't tell lies. But every one of you watching today, live and recorded, has a unique promise of value. Every one of you is special. I know that. I've been in this business for 26 years, and I see people who really flounder because they don't know who they are, what they can bring. So think about your value. What is so special about you? And please ask any questions as we advance through this presentation. I'm more than happy to answer the questions as they pop up. There's one coming right now. So Carol, hi Carol. So who is you? Who is you? What are you talking about? What are you sharing? What is you as a person? You're standing up. You are a product. So be consistent in your messaging. Don't be like this. Don't be like that. And don't be like this. Be consistent in your messaging. Be powerful. Every one of you is so powerful. You need to understand the power you have within you. I have power. You have power. Exercise, express that power in your personal brand, in all your dealings as you advance your career. Be powerful. Be seductive. You are seducing an audience. You want as many people as possible to come together with you, to collaborate with you, to get to know you, to engage you, to employ you. So what is so special about you? Be consistent. Be powerful. Create a positive, not negative, create a positive brand. You would not believe the people I see creating their own brand, and they focus on their negative aspects as far as their positive aspects. Are we going to hire somebody who's negative, or are we going to hire somebody who's positive? I would suggest to you that we hire positive people. You need to deliver a very compelling, a very striking, positive message. Engage them, excite them, make them want to pick up the phone and give you a call if you are in career transition, or even if you're gainfully employed. Because you should always, and those who follow me on my social media and my YouTube channel, I always tell people the day you land a job is the day to start your next job search. So you need to create a positive impact, but you also need to live that brand. Don't be false. Live that brand. Exude that brand. Express that brand. What will people, so this is a question I ask when I'm going through with my clients to get their personal brand. What will people say about you when you leave the room? So think about it. If you left the room right now, what would if we were in normal times, not COVID, what would your peers remaining in that room, or you've got studying at class in the EMBA school or whatever, what would they say about you after you left? So think about what people will say about you from your personal aspect, not your business. So think about a compelling, a striking, a resonating, a very powerful message. Every one of you listening here today and on the replay has a unique brand that is special to you, and you need to articulate that brand. A good, seductive, powerful personal brand positions you as in your niche and as an authority, as an expert. Many people watching today and watching the replay are experts. So try and engage that, try and express that, your expertise in your personal brand. We hire experts. You hire experts. So think of yourself as an authority, as an expert. Those who are working up to it, becoming an expert, you have some way to go, but you still need to express yourself. So tell a very compelling story. I write resumes, CVs, day in, day out. A resume, a CV is a storytelling document. We are in a storytelling age, and the personal brand is just a little snippet of that overall impact you want to deliver to make them pick up the phone, the hiring authority, and give you a call. And yes, there are many, many jobs, even in today's economy. Doesn't matter where you live in the world. I'm global. I got clients right now in 30 plus countries. Everybody is hiring, not as robust as before COVID, but that will come back. But you always need to be prepared, and you always need to have your personal brand, your unique promise of value. Many people have and functions have difficulty in expressing their personal brand. Now, I've been very lucky. I've given seminars at the Chartered Accountants of Ontario many times before it became CPA. And they're studying for their exams, and I was talking about personal branding. So every accountant, yes, they're facts-based, they're detail-oriented. They don't have time generally to think about themselves as a salesperson getting out there. They find it tough. They think they're all bean counters. Yeah, they do count. They do use metrics and facts and figures all the time, but they're not all bean counters. When I go into that room of that class, every one of those 36, 48 or whatever is a separate entity and has their own personal brand. So you need to think out of the box. You need to be very intriguing and deliver an intriguing message. So every one of those accountants I presented to numerous times thought of themselves just as a bean counter. Yeah, that's part of their business. That's part of their job. They're part of their function. But they also have their own unique promise of value. So choose your audience. You don't want to be, when you go on a job search, you don't want to be like this. You want to be very narrow. And that part of your brand is narrowing it down to that particular audience. Now, we come to articulating your personal brand. You need to articulate it both verbally and in all your collateral, your resume, your CV, your bio, your cover letters, and this is very, very important, on your social media. Now, the brand has come home during COVID because we've all been sadly locked away. So the advent of social media is so crucial to you. You can still articulate your personal brand all the time. It's a platform. There's a vast array of stuff out there where you can articulate your personal brand. So you need to define your personal brand. Think about, well, what is so special about me? What is my niche? Why should, if I was to employ myself, what would I look like? What am I looking for? What is my unique promise of value? What is my differentiator? What is my competitive edge? Everyone watching this broadcast today has their own unique promise of value. Then you need to express that. There are so many platforms today available to you to express your personal brand. The higher you come out of the water, the more opportunities will come your way. So you need to also build your network all the time, not just while you're in career transition, but you need to build it while you're gainfully employed. So here are some tips here on how you can express, or the venues, the mediums you can express that. So how about videos? Videos is the way of the world. YouTube is free. All you need to do is you get your cell phone camera. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars, thousands of pounds, thousands of euros on equipment. You need your cell phone, or if you've got a video, have it prepared and make a video. Talk about yourself. Advertise yourself. Videos are huge. Why don't you comment on some people's blogs? Some people, an industry leader in your sector, why don't they have blogs? So why don't you make a comment on your blog? Somebody will see that, and therefore you're planting your seed. You're planting your brand in another area. So comment on blogs. Comment on all sorts of social media platforms. What about a podcast? Podcast is the way of the world. So many people are having podcasts. In fact, I'm building a podcast right now. Stand by. 2 podcasts, which will be very intriguing for you. I'm inviting guests talking about personal branding, talking about recruiting. But it's all part of my personal brand is to help people. So podcasts, go on webinars and advertise yourself on webinars, or create your own webinar. If you're an expert, you're an authority, there are plenty of platforms where you can go and create a webinar. You don't have to charge for them. That would be nice, but you don't have to charge for them. And then create an ebook or write a book. How about writing a book? Well, there's many other platforms that are available to you. How about Quora? Quora is an expert platform where you can make comments, and that is heavily Googled. But you need to be on the main social media platforms. Never, ever go off and disappear, even when you're gainfully employed. So you need to build your community just like you're going to build your brand, and that will expand and expand and expand. And all these things are for free. See if you can get some speaking engagements. Yes, we can't speak right now in person, but we can actually speak via Zoom, via Teams, via WebEx. Your industry hasn't stopped having industry conferences. If you are an authority, you are an expert, why don't you consider about volunteering and putting your name forward as a speaker for your next conference, whether it be online or whether it be in person? Therefore, you are strengthening your personal brand. People will know about you. So hopefully you've got some idea on a personal brand. It's you, your unique promise of value, the value you could bring me if I was to employ you. So I got one of my friends here. This is Paddington Bear. So many people around the world will know Paddington. I've been to Paddington Station in London, where I did go quite frequently. If you go onto my YouTube, you can see how Paddington Bear has built his brand. Go onto my YouTube channel and please press the subscribe button and the bell button, where you will be notified of all future videos. There's a lot more coming. If you want to manage your career, if you want to advance your career, my YouTube channel is the best place for you. Please subscribe. Please press that bell button. YouTube is a wealth of information. If anybody wants a free, no obligation resume critique, I'm more than happy to give you 30 minutes of my time. I will go through it from top to bottom. But remember, Paddington is waiting for you to go on YouTube. Go and view his video. It's quite eye-opening. Now, let's have a look at the questions. So we've got one here. What are your thoughts on personal branding when one has experience in various capacities? How would you merge these skill sets to create one brand? Okay, that's a great question. Thank you. So that's a really good question. So your personal brand is not really to do with your overall business skills. It's your personal, what you can bring personally. So if you were to go from one sector to another, that won't affect your personal brand because it's personal. It's not a corporate brand. So when I write resumes, I get my clients to express them and I help them, I nurture them, I coach them through this. but I get them to do their personal brand, and then I get them to do what they're and talk about that, articulate that, what they're renowned for within their business. So if they're a finance guy, they need to talk about what they're renowned for within the finance world. If they are a marketing guy, they need to talk about what they're about renowned for in the marketing world. That's a great question. How do you merge these skill sets to create one brand? So I would. That's just where it gets a bit difficult. You need to express it on a personal aspect rather than your business. Hopefully that will. I know it's a bit loosey, but it will hopefully get you to think personally rather than business when you're writing your brand. Anybody got any other questions? Be happy to answer them. I know there's 5 people online right now. Anybody else got any other questions? Be happy. I'm here for you. Anything, not just on personal branding, but career management generally. Hello from France. Hi, how are you doing? Good to have you. Thank you very much for attending my LinkedIn Live and Facebook Live and YouTube Live, Tuesdays at 2. I'm here every Tuesday. I'm here for you. So if you've got some questions, have them ready for next week. I'm here for you. Can you provide a live example of a brand statement? Oh my gosh. Wow, you put me on the spot here. I should have brought one up from my office downstairs. Let me think about one. Oh gosh, you put me on the spot here. I'm going to have to come back to you. Why don't I next week tune in at Tuesdays at 2, and I will give you, at the beginning, I will give you a couple of personal brands that my clients, or they've engaged me to do personal brand coaching, that they've given me. So just let go. I'm stuck. Where do I start to rebuild? I'm 57. That's a great question. So to me, age is not an inhibitor. Anything you put in your way, any walls, any barriers you put in your way, the chances of you getting to where you want to go fall foul. They will fail. So think of yourself as this brand. Think of yourself as a product, and think of the value. Even though you are 57, you have a bulk of talent, a wealth of talent that people want. They're waiting to engage you. So I actually, right now, in my private practice, Elite Resumes, and a couple of EMBAs, I've got people in their 60s, in today's tough economy, in multiple offers and multiple jobs. So think about that. It's not impossible. There is no such thing as being impossible. The possible is possible. Okay? So think of it that way. Anybody got any other questions? Next week, I promise I will give you some brands that I have helped my clients craft and deliver and put on their resume, and then they put them on their social media or whatever. But remember, you are a salesperson. You are selling yourself. Any other questions? If not, I will wrap it up. I'm looking forward to presenting again next week. The topic next week, next Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And next week it will be, the times change, so it will be 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. 7 p.m. London, and 8 p.m. Eastern. Please, I'd be interested in a sample of a personal brand. Yeah, sure. So I will ensure that you get them next week. So please tune in. So next week's topic is get ready. Spring clean your social media. You need to be on social media. If you aren't on social media and active on social media, you are failing in your career management. So thanks for listening. Martin Buckland. I'm an executive career management practitioner, and I can help you manage and advance your career. See you next Tuesday at 2. Thanks for tuning in.